And greetings and welcome to another Super Secret Project sketch. This is Eric Whalen from Super Secret Project X. And I know I got it. I got it that time.
Better than me early this morning asking you, what was it again?
We were both a little lacking. We were. It was it's a good thing the cameras weren't live. We were both a little sluggish. All right. So today I am going to center my paper, and I'm done. Thank you for joining us.
Tune in next week where we all write F-U in feces.
Yeah, we're going to expand upon I'm going to open up the sketchbook. I'm going to center it. Then we're going to do the whole feces thing that my wife just apparently really got into. No. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I feel like just doing something simple today. I feel like doing a little bit of the old lightning mouse. So I'm going to do some Pikachu. We're going to see where we go with Pikachu, because Pikachu's pretty simple. Feel like I might mess with Pikachu a little bit. We'll just see what happens. Kind of want to... Yeah. See what I can come up with here. Okay, so in general...
Knife fight.
Knife fight, yeah. Pikachu doesn't need his electroshock anymore. Found himself a knife.
Now that he's tasted blood, he hungers for more.
Kind of just want to see where this goes. So generally what I do, I start off by just putting the big base shapes down, and I suggest this for everybody who just has any amount of problems generally with their layout. Some people are just magic. I'm not one of those people. So I like to just generally put some forms down, give me an idea of where things are going to go. The nice thing about Pikachu is that Pikachu is nice and simple. Well, yeah, I mean, it's there's a reason why Pikachu's design works so well. It's like a Hello Kitty or a Mickey Mouse. It's just the shapes are just right. They got everything just generally figured out on this little dude to such a I don't want to say perfect, but I don't know if you could have gotten a more perfect kind of sort of setup. So I kind of want to go in and just roughly...
Hey baby, you over there looking fine. Let me take a peek at you.
Oh, let me take a Pikachu. Hey, baby. Want to come over and activate my Pokeballs? No, dude, no. See, I'm not going in and finishing anything off. I'm just generally putting some of the base shapes down, and then I'll get to a point where I can look at it and just go like, man, that or that ain't right. I'm gonna add a little bit more pudge down at the bottom here, and yeah, just kind of want to see, because the feet are so simple. I was just trying to think if I can come up with something a little bit more interesting on the feet. Probably not. Probably just going to do something simple, something straightforward. Pika feet. And didn't leave a whole lot of room for the tail, which I think is kind of a my bad. But
do it in post.
wanna?
We'll do it in post.
Yeah, do it in post. But I kind of like the body and stuff, and so
Yeah.
let me see here. Actually, you know what? I got space to lead it off the other side, so let's just lead it off the other side.
Here you go. He's coming in at an angle.
So we got straight, down, straight, down, straight. So the nice thing about this initial step, you're totally allowed to screw up.
Oh, absolutely.
But on the same note, sometimes you just want to throw stuff down and just kind of see what happens.
Throw it down, yo.
So we're going to see what happens. And you can kind of spot the areas that don't look quite right. There we go. I'm going to thicken some of these areas up.
I apologize if there's any food slurpings or anything. I'm having a nice hot bowl of soup on this very day.
It's okay, man. Fall is just hitting us fast, hasn't it?
Actually, what's going on? There's a tropical depression that came through from Texas that went like a nice straight curve.
Texas.
It went a nice curve and came up and is hitting the Midwest now, and we're directly in the path. So this is what it is. We're actually getting hit with a tropical depression, or the remains of it, I should say. So, well, it's kind of humid out, actually.
Is it really?
It's cool.
You know what? It does look awfully damp out there, don't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Look
even
at
in here, it's humid. Because we've had heat on because it's been cold. But even with that, it's been a bit.
It's like a
more
sauna.
humid.
It's like a sauna in here. Alright, so you know what? This is pretty decent start, but he's kind of boring me a little bit. I feel like I need to. I think I'm gonna end up just doing. I'm gonna do something to him. I think I'm gonna do something to him. Might give him the old Scrapid D treatment.
Give him the crazy eyes, yes.
Give him the crazy eyes. Give him the crazy eyes. Alright, so give him a blank look. Start there. I know, right? It's not quite. It's a start. Let me see what I can do here. Alright, so he's seen some things, so we need to bag his eyes up a little bit.
Now, is this just a random Pikachu, or is this Ash's Pikachu?
I don't think it matters. I think, no, I'm serious. I think no matter what you do, the audience is going to pick what they want, and that's, I think, what should happen. So if this is Ash's, or was it Takashi's Pikachu, then you go with that. If it's a random one that something has gone clearly wrong on,
what has science done?
here we go. Oh, maybe that's kind of fun.
His eyebrows need to be lightning bolt shaped too.
They need to be filled with energy and rage, like lightning freed from hell. Pika, no. There we go. It's a little funnier. That's a little funnier. You don't quite know what he's thinking, and that's funny. It's sort of confused rage. Not a quality I like to see in a human being holding something sharp, but I think I would prefer that over a small, enraged, confused rodent that could, electrocute me at any moment. That's even if he chooses to electrocute.
He may kill you, he may not. May the odds ever
Let's
be in your
watch
favor.
and find out.
May the odds ever be in your favor.
Man, yeah. Oh, Eric, why do you do things to cartoon characters?
Because you can.
It's probably the reason.
Same reason why anybody else does it. All that and to make their characters bone other characters. But
Well, at least on the internet or in the safe, quiet confines of their basement.
I was actually reading a funny art thread, and somebody actually posted that. They're like, alright, here's a poll. Artist, why do you draw your characters? It was like, 1, have them interacting with blah blah blah. 2, to get my imaginations out into the world. 3, to have my OCs, original characters, bone other OCs. And C was like completely, it was like 78%.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I think I will give it the Scrappy D. I think you give him some of that. As a matter of, because I kind of have him doing the hangy arms thing, which I can't clearly do because apparently my shoulders are too far apart.
Well, also your arms aren't like stuck in front of your chest.
Well, yeah, because I'm hopefully not a rodent. So what I'm going to do is the Scrappy D treatment. We did it to Scrappy Doo
Thus the name.
earlier, and we stuck tidy whities on him. And I thought it completely made the whole thing sing. So what I'm going to do is let's give him some tidy whitey action. Do me a favor and pull up a picture of tidy whities again. I want to make sure I get that fold up front right. So it's because it's important to make things recognizable. You don't want a half-ass pair of tidy whities on a confused / enraged electric rodent. It just would not do. It would not do.
I'm sorry, I just got stunned by a pair of lace men's silky lace bikinis.
Well, there you go.
And it's on Amazon, and the actual thing is sissy pouch panties, men's silky lace bikini. Anyway. Tiny whities. Need a better picture? Or?
Yeah, a little bit more classic. The old tidy whities are a lot funnier looking than some of the newer, simpler cut ones.
Here you go.
Perfect. Yep. Okay, there we go. Thank you, sweetie.
Excuse me.
Okay, we got that magic pouch right there. Okay, now, yeah, we gotta package them. We just gotta do it. It's just not going to be funny without it. Gotta package them. We gotta do it. Why? I honestly have no idea. It's funny, I think, is the only reason I can come up with.
All I can say is, why not?
I think there's a big why not. Why not? I'm so sick and tired of everything like being, too clean and tidy. Let's just make this stupid. I'm sorry, things that are a little stupid are awesome. It's just, I mean, not completely stupid, but a little,
Like, it depends on what it is. There's some things that, there's some stupid things that are like, that's just stupid. There's
some stupid things that are just kind of awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go and do some cleanup. You know, the funny thing is, and this is probably just me, but I remember the end of Pikachu's tail being black. But not, and I have this is the model sheets for the show, and it's not like that in the model sheets. Am I remembering him wrong?
Let me see.
Is that just me?
I know that. I think that might be you, because I think I remember him having a. I know he had his tail towards the bottom was colored.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, I'm
here.
probably just remembering it wrong then.
Yeah, his tail towards his body connection, or towards his, where it's connected down is usually shaded, or usually a darker.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And the tips of his ears are black.
Yeah, no, that I got right. I guess I just, for whatever reason, I just thought the
See?
end of his. Yeah, there it is. Wow, my brain was completely going like, dude, there's black there, and I'm going like, I'm not seeing black on the design. That's what I get for getting old. If you can manage it, don't bother. It's a bad idea.
No. Yeah, I think you may be remembering, because usually when the ears are tipped black, usually a tail is tipped black. It's just like a uniform thing. So maybe that's something to do with it.
It's either that or in my head I just kind of do things a certain way, and I just look at the end of his tail and just think to myself, dude, it should be black at the end. But if it's not, it's not. I'll get rid of it. That's cool.
Actually, there may be a reason why. The Mandela effect.
Nelson Mandela, he always screws with my cartooning.
Yes.
Alternate realities in South Africa, always messing with my cartoons.
Yeah, because there are people who are, there's actually...
Yeah, I'm aware of the Mandela effect, yeah.
There are people actually talking about, like, wait, did Pikachu actually did have a black tail? They're like, no, he didn't. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. So there's actually...
Human memory is just a flawed thing.
Yeah,
so.
that's Mandela effect. You remember one thing else.
Yeah, but there's people out there that actually believe it's like proof of alternate realities and stuff, and I just end up going like, no, every human's brain is just the most jacked up thing ever, and you just get to a point where you're going like, dude, Pikachu has a black tip on his tail, and then I see the cartoon, where'd the black tip go? It's like, no, your brain's just faulty, dude.
It's like for some reason there's this whole entire thing where people are trying to say that there was a it was a movie with like Sinbad in it.
Well, that's already a good start to a
He
story.
was a genie. There was another type of Shazam movie that was like we had Shaq, and people are like, no, there was Kazam with Shaq when he was like the genie, but apparently there was like some other like thing that pops up where they're just like, no, this movie happened here. Like, no, that movie never existed, and people swear that it did.
All right, so I'm just gonna go in and go right to the HB.
Really? Get out of here.
Oh, we actually got someone talking to us. Yes.
What's that?
um,
Pop one and see.
LOL. That Pikachu really needs to go take a leak, eh? And yes. You've finally nailed the emotion that I was drawing this and I was going like, something's wrong. Something's funny and wrong here, and maybe it's just a real primal need. As a matter of fact, because of that, I might add, sweat beads. I should add sweat beads. Hello, by the way.
Yeah, it says here.
Oh, come here, you.
Though many of us clearly remember black detailing on the Pokemon character's tail, in reality, it's just all yellow.
So that's not just me remembering that, though.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. There's a bunch of people who are saying that.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, that they remember Pikachu having a black marking on his tail, and apparently he never had.
Makes you wonder if there was like a advertising or something that went out where something was accidentally wrong and a lot of people saw it, then just sort of, or maybe it should just have a black, like everyone just automatically thinks that it feels as if there should be.
Yeah, I'm reading a list here of Mandela effect products and stuff.
Our guest is saying the same thing. He thought there was a black stripe at the end of the tail.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we're shocked. We are totally shocked. I'm literally sitting here going like, and I don't claim to be an expert. I just happen to love cartoons and drawing them, and so I it's not that I prefer specifically certain types of cartoons. I just happen to like all cartoons. So even though I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, I love how they put all the stuff together, and then I love also clearly making fun of it a little bit. So I was like, oh man, I could do Pikachu today. That'd be funny. I could probably do something to him. Then the whole time in my head, it's like the black stripe is there. And then when you showed me where it's supposed to be darker down here, I'm just going like, wait, was it? Dang, I don't remember that. Yeah, he just Googled it. He's like speechless.
Here's what I was talking about with Sinbad, talking being a genie. He says, this one is perhaps the most bizarre of all. Several people can attest that they distinctly remember seeing the comedian Sinbad in a movie called Shazam. Many argue that they're confusing this memory with the movie Kazam, starring Shaquille O'Neal as a genie. But who really knows?
I want to say there was something there in the back of my head, but there's also, I guess that was late 90s when that movie came out. I'm
Kazam?
guessing Kazam?
Yeah.
Or
it actually
2000s?
It would have been like early to mid 90s, because that's when Shaq's popularity was really hardcore.
And nothing against Shaq, but or a lot of movies like Kazam, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of just bad, cheap movies that came out. I mean, there's great ones, but the ones that just came out, that were just like they all just blurred together. My favorites are like when animated series completely get by me, and I'm like the one Fish Police one you told me about, and then you showed me clips from it. I was going like, what? There was an adult animated Fish Police cartoon, and then you showed me clips. I'm like, there's prostitute jokes in this.
That's the thing. It wasn't even adult. It was actually on TV for kids.
And there was prostitute jokes.
Yeah,
Sweet.
And the
I missed it.
The scene I showed you with the one with the knife actually cutting the one's shirt. That she was a waitress in a diner.
Yeah, I saw that clip. I was going like that. That fish is built right. You know.
Yeah, actually, let's look that one up because that was just a funny cartoon. All right, Fish Police. Alrighty, let's see. Fish Police, animated series from Hanna-Barbera based on the comic book series created by Steve Moncues. It first aired on CBS in 1992, lasting 6 episodes over one season. In February of that year, 3 episodes aired, and then the show was axed after falling in TV ratings. The remaining 3 episodes never aired in the United States, but the entire series ran in European syndication. The show had a decidedly more mature tone than most of the other animated Hanna-Barbera shows. Episodes often contain innuendo and cases of mild profanity. The series was part of a spate of attempts by major networks to develop primetime animated shows to compete with the success of Fox's Simpsons, along with ABC's Capital Critters.
That makes sense.
Co-produced by Fox, which also produced The Simpsons, and CBS's own Family Dog. Hanna-Barbera Productions, which also worked on Capital Critters, pitched the series to CBS Entertainment, which quickly agreed to pick it up. All 3 were canceled in their first season. Yeah, I love Family Dog. That was a good one. Let's see the character, Inspector Gill, voiced by John Ritter. The main protagonist of the series, Gill is a detective.
John Ritter?
Yes.
Fabulous.
Gill is a detective in a similar mold of classic film noir stylings. He sees things as very black and white, demonstrated by his good/bad narratives during episodes. He has been in a relationship with Pearl for 5 years, to which some have joked that they should have been married by now, and maintains a flirtatious quote-unquote friendship with Angel. Dialogue in the first episode implies that he is friends with several other fictional characters, such as Fred Flintstone and Kermit the Frog. Let's see. The character Biscotti Calamari, voiced by Hector Elizondo.
I don't know that name.
Oh, he's been in like so much stuff.
I'm sure, but it's you just the way you said it. It was like somebody I should know, and I'm not recognizing.
Oh, because he's been in a ton of movie stuff.
Okay.
Let's see some of the stuff that you recognize him from. Let's see, because he's won Golden Globes. He's Emmy Award. Let's see something.
Has he been in anything?
Let me see. Well, he's been in a lot of
well,
stuff.
I mean, clearly he's been in things.
Let me see something that you would have recognized him in. Let's see. Necessary Roughness.
Necessary Roughness.
Beverly Hills Cop 3. He was the voice of Bane in Batman Mystery of the Batwoman. Let's see. Lucha. He was Commissioner Gordon in the Lego Batman movie. Let's see. Lots of TV stuff. And that's some major stories, Matlock. Equalizer.
Equalizer? Well, there's something.
Remember the show Pirates of Dark Water?
Yes.
He was Ayaz, the one pirate dude.
Ooh, you were asking me to think way back.
Never mind then. Well, the good guys, Ren, Ayaz, and Tula. He was not the blonde guy, and he wasn't the girl. He was the other pirate with
black hair.
Yes, with
the ponytail. I know the one you're talking about. Okay.
He was that character. Let's see. He was in the '95 Johnny Quest.
Mm.
Oh, you played a character in Gargoyle. It was cool.
You know, that's a shame about the 95 Johnny Quest stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them started out like, ooh. And then the further you got into it, the more you were going like, like it's like they started off with the first 5-10 minutes being like amazing, and then it just like, okay, I put it this way: when you don't feel like you can stretch things as far as people stretched it in the '60s.
Oh, he was also the voice of the spirit owl of the library in Avatar Airbender.
Oh,
In Wong Shi Tong.
love that dude. That scary, wonderful dude.
Yes. But yes, Hector Elizondo, that what was, dang it, I just completely killed that. Let me go back to that again. Okay, where was I?
I'm really feeling the need to watch Avatar again.
Yeah, well, did we still don't have the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I've been wanting us to get that Blu-ray set.
Yeah, because
Well, we've got the DVDs, which is fine. I just would love to see it in HD for once.
Yeah, well, that and the one Blu-ray set that I want had both series, had the entirety of Airbender and Korra.
Woo-hoo.
So that's the one I want to pick up, and I think that was at Target. So, and maybe we can put that as a Christmas gift on our list.
Mm.
Okay. See another character, Tim Curry voiced a character in Fish Police.
Did he really?
Ed Asner, Jonathan Winters, Robert Guillaume, Buddy Hackett.
That's some serious stuff on that show. How did that not succeed?
Phil Hartman.
Really?
Ralph Paulson, B.J. Ward.
I feel like I completely missed out on something in the 90s there.
Oh, they only showed 3 episodes.
Well, obviously, I,
And see,
just didn't catch it, and they only played it 3 times, but still, I feel I missed out.
And it was only, it was prime time in 92, so, yeah, I mean, so something like that, I don't even think, I hadn't heard it. I haven't even heard the comic series.
Mm.
Let's see. Anything else about it? Alright, critical reception. Critics' opinions were mixed to negative.
Aww.
Ken Tucker of Entertainment Weekly gave the show a C, saying that the comics are a lot more varied and better constructed. Their plots worked as mysteries, whereas here the stories are just excuses for more fish humor. Marion Garmo of the Indianapolis Star thought the show lacked the dark edge of the comics. In a 2010 interview,
Awesome.
Monque said of the show, "The less said about the animated series, the better."
Oh. All I can say is you showed me that one clip, and I was actually kind of laughing at it pretty good. I thought it looked decent,
Let's see
but
if it's available on
apparently
YouTube.
not decent enough.
See if it was one of those ones that we were lucky enough to actually see the entire.
Mm. Well, the funny thing is, it's not that I need things to be inappropriate or strange or odd. It's that I want variety, and I'm pretty sick and tired of stuff that just kind of keeps being the same things over and over.
The entire series is on YouTube.
Really?
You can watch it as series, or they have one where the entire run is in one 2 hour 15-minute block, or you can just watch each episode separately on this one thing, which I'm going to mark that and save that to watch for later.
Oh, our guest would like to see the one on the other side, which, by the way, if you check out our YouTube channel, the whole video is there, but that would be the Toilinator from Codename Kids Next Door. And I felt that this one could have turned out a little better. Typically what I do is I do cartooning that stretches my skills, because stuff like Codename Kids Next Door, this is going to sound ridiculous to some people, is actually so much more difficult to draw than most people would imagine. Because I do more, and I'm not going to say realistic. I'm a perfect.
You do a lot more detailed stuff.
Well, I do yes.
You do illustrative stuff.
I do stuff that's more dimensional, so the more flat and abstracted a character gets, the more of a challenge it is for me. Oh, thank you. Page, sorry, English is not. Oh, don't worry about English not being your first language. I speak English and I'm not very good at it. I speak 2 languages, English and bad English. So, no worries, no worries.
Pikachu's cracking me up. That's hilarious.
But yeah, if you'd like to subscribe, I think we've got 70 some videos. I've done like 70 some characters. And we're just going to keep going. I do this in my spare time. I'm actually a senior designer at a corporation. I do the whole sit down and sit in the cube and do art for 40 plus hours a week, blah, blah, blah. This is when I sit down and do the craft I've always really wanted to do, and it's nothing against my job. I just, want to be a cartoonist, and I don't get to do cartooning at work, so I do it here. So what we did is I think we averaged 20 minutes to an hour and 20, depending upon the character. And if you...
About 40 minutes, actually.
Depending. I mean, it varies widely. So if you're into it, cool. If not, you ain't going to hurt my feelings.
Also cool.
I'm just glad someone joined and actually talked to us.
Yeah, thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, seriously. So there we go.
Pokemon gets all the nerds in the yard. They're like, hey, you want to trade cards? And I'm like, yeah, I want to trade cards. You can have my Mudkip, but not my Charizard.
All right.
The bulge, man. Like...
I know. The bulge is what really sets it off.
Oh, cool. Our guest says that he does graffiti.
Oh, nice.
He says his character game is weak. That's all right, man.
Dude, or dudette. This is my opinion on art. Everybody thinks that there's some like great thing that if you can achieve this thing. The fact is all forms of art are tough. So if I went and I tried graffiti, I would have such a hard time doing it. I've got guys that I know that do photorealistic stuff, and they look at cartooning and just go like, I don't have a clue how you do that. So, yeah. So if your character game is weak, and you really want to do it, it's amazing what you can get with just like an hour or two guaranteed every single week, and start with the characters you love. And this is what I always told my students I used to teach, is it doesn't matter initially if you're getting great. What matters is that you love it. Like right now, this is me doing just something so stupid, and I love it.
It's awesome.
It ain't bad, right?
Hilarious.
It's not bad. And
Pikachu.
and so don't ever feel bad, because the fact is I literally know guys out there that just do. I know like original Chicago designers that were the first to use computers to do advertising. And I mean the older guys, the first generations to use pixels. And I know these guys are freaking pros, right? And they'll look at stuff and just go like, man, I can't even get close to doing cartooning or graffiti or whatever. And
Every art form is a skill.
yeah,
And it's just,
there ain't nothing wrong with that.
yeah, it just, if you want to learn a new skill, just like anything else, you just take the time to learn it, and you practice until you're comfortable with it. It's not going to turn out good the very first time. 'Cause
Oh, it never will.
Very rarely does that happen.
It never will.
And you just have fun with it. As long as you're having fun and you're doing it for the sake of what you love to do, that's what matters.
Yeah. Because, completely honest, there's a whole lot of people out there, they're like, I'm going to get world famous, or I'm going to do blank, or blah, blah, blah. I'll be like super honest. I passed my 10,000 hours of experience 10,000 hours ago, and nobody has a freaking clue who I am. So at the end of the day, it's all about making yourself happy. Because hey, you may make it, you may not. I've met pro artists, and most of them are confused as to what they did to make it. Except for the really conceited ones, they knew it. somehow they somehow knew they were going to be the magic one. I'm not sure how you do that.
There's this great cartoon that I saw where it had like different, like it has a guy on the computer just sitting there. He's looking at his work. He's like, "I'll never be as great as the old masters." And it shows like a guy from like the 20s saying the same thing in front of his
Yep.
newspaper. Shows a Renaissance artist with this thing. So
Same
I'll
thing.
never be as great as the old artist. And it finally goes back to a caveman with like a cave painting. He just goes, "I'm the best."
Yeah. Well, we were educated right next to the fine artists, and there's not a whole lot there that impresses me. Other than the fact that they're trying. I mean, but we're all kind of, impressive because we all do, and that's kind of at the end of the day what really matters is the do.
The way I looked at it when because we went to art school, and the way I looked at it was, it doesn't matter. What's up?
Oh, it's occasionally I sell some stuff, but I didn't start with that intention. Yeah,
We never do.
never do, never do.
But like I said, the way I look at it is, when we were in school, we all took the same elevator and we all walked up the same stairs.
No one's better than
Yeah, it's
anyone
like,
else. It's sort of, we're all
whatever
different.
floor you got off on, whether it was the fine arts floor, the graphic design floor, the paint floor, the printmaking.
Yeah, there were people that
interior.
looked at me weird when I said I
Yeah.
wanted to do computer art. Like,
Yeah.
they legitimately, like, why would you use computers to do art?
Yeah. And it's like, we all walked that same path. We got off of different floors, but we all walked back down that same path and took the same path to go home and to come into school. It doesn't matter which way you go as long as you're happy with where you're going. And it's like, once again, it's like, just do what you love,
Yeah.
and you love what you do.
Well, the thing about graffiti is, and it's the same as cartooning and all the others, you're going to have diehard fans out there. You're going to have people that will look at my stuff and go like, eh. Then they're going to look at your stuff because they're just into the whole idea of graffiti. And you're going to whoop me every single time. So I've seen every kind of artwork where you go, that's the one that's going to sell, and it doesn't matter if the person buying it isn't into it. So you're always going to get people that are. I like that you take those. Oh, thank you. It's you should actually, some of the cartoon characters I do, honestly, I just try to do the challenge of not changing them, just executing them how I would execute them, so they really look very similar to the original character. In this case, I really just felt like screwing with Pikachu for some reason. I did an earlier one with Scrappy Doo. Nothing against Scrappy Doo. If you're a Scrappy Doo fan, I myself am not a Scrappy Doo fan. But I always liked the idea of a small dog wanting to get into a fist fight, so I stuck him in tidy whities, and he looks violent and mentally ill, and I thought that was just funny. So then I was like, well, let me do another small animated character. Little off-kilter and tidy whities had to have holes in them.
Because graffiti and cartoons are probably more connected than you realize. Oh no, dude, we realize it.
Oh, well, no, we do realize it. What the difference I'm talking in is the fan base. And I'm not saying that there isn't crossover. There's clearly crossover.
Oh, bright, colorful, bold lines.
Yeah.
I mean,
The graphic nature of it, yeah.
I freaking love graffiti work. It is beautiful. I've seen some stuff. Where
I've seen some amazing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, wow, I would absolutely love to learn how to do that stuff, and it's gorgeous, and it's really, really just amazing to watch people actually do that. So trust us, dude, we understand.
Yeah.
We have a healthy respect for graffiti artists, because it's
it's
amazing.
Yeah, it's not that I'm saying that they're two different things. We've done conventions for like 30 years, or 25, or
We're about 20, 25 at this point.
about 20, 25. It feels like 30. And it's just that we are sensitive to the fact that buyer bases have a tendency of being very specific. We've done anime and comic conventions, we've done anthro conventions, We've done. You'd be surprised. My Little Pony conventions are actually some of the best we've ever done.
We've done cartoon conventions.
Of all
We've
kinds.
done illustration conventions. We've done professional. We've done
Yeah.
gymnasium. We've pretty much run the gamut of the convention for the illustrative fan artist or blah 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 whatever.
And one thing we've discovered is if somebody ain't a fan of something,
They will let you know.
they'll not only they'll let you know, but there's virtually nothing you can say to get them interested into blank. So if I've got a real hardcore graffiti fan and I show them my stuff, they might be like, cool dude, but then they're really not going to invest into me at all. And I'm not talking money, I'm just talking time. They'd be like, hey, check this dude out, blah blah blah, underwear on a rodent. But then, for example, if you were standing next to me and your stuff was up, they're just going to go like right to you, you know. And it's just something that I've learned. Like, this is going to sound so ridiculous. We were at a My Little Pony convention. My wife is selling her stuff, which is beautifully done stuff. And we're right across from this guy. Nothing against this guy. I ain't talking crap. He sort of had like this whole angry Dragon Ball Z My Little Pony artwork thing going on.
Oh, that
I thought it was an interesting gimmick, but I was also like, okay, that's cool. That's your thing. And I tell you what, he was on the other side of the aisle. You could tell that one group went right towards my wife and the other group went right towards him, and they were both doing My Little Pony. But my wife did these beautiful, brightly colored, very similar to the show, and his was just like rage and thunder and terror and My Little Pony all mixed into one. And it was just like, what can you say? You know?
And the thing is, and I'm not knocking the guys.
No, I'm not either.
Yeah, I think if it was executed a bit more.
He was close to being incredibly good. He wasn't bad by it. Ooh, I just realized something.
What's up?
That drop shadow needs a little bit more of a package shadow right there. Can't
His
neglect the
shadow has a
package
bulge.
shadow.
Even the shadow has a bulge.
Even the shadow has a bulge. Yeah, there we go.
When you cast a high noon in your shadow, that's how you know you're happening.
Oh, I'm so stupid.
You're not stupid, you're having fun.
It's so funny. But yeah, no, it is. It's like totally about taste, you know. And I had a point in my life where I just stopped judging or even thinking about anyone's taste as being right or wrong. To me, it's a matter of everyone in some way loves artwork.
It's all subjective.
It's also and everyone is right because it's the thing that they love. And at the end of the day, I could run through 100 things that I love, and somebody would think they're right or wrong, but it doesn't matter because it's my stuff.
Yeah.
It's what I want, you know. And
And it doesn't matter as long as you like it, you're having fun with it, and if it strikes a chord with someone else, cool. If not,
Yeah.
even like still cool because you did it because you loved it.
yeah, and that's the
all
real
fun.
thing, is the striking a chord. I'm writing a number of books right now, and I'm developing like characters and stories of what I want, because for years I was writing stuff that, or I was coming up with I should be more accurate, I was coming up with ideas for stories that I thought would be like marketable, and then it just suddenly occurred to me, I just need to be developing and creating for what I love, and then find the people that are kind of not like my people, but love similar things. Because the fact is, good luck ever guessing what the next big thing is. I mean, really good luck doing it, because it's so random.
Yeah.
And it's I'm 42 now, and I've been watching trends in cartoons and video games and stuff, and there's some general universals that keep occurring, but at the end of the day, you're never going to be able to tell. Like, and this is just one of the things that I never cared for. And there's probably a bunch of people out there, and you might be one of them, that really likes Neon Genesis Evangelion. I can't stand it. And it's not that I'm insulting it or insulting like the people watching it. I just end up going like, I just got bored, and so each to their own. I was like, hey, you guys go and you watch your Neon Genesis. I'm going to be over here watching Thundar the Barbarian or Syatsura or, Avatar the Last Airbender, and it's nothing against Neon Genesis. I just can't get into it. I've tried. We got some friends that are big fans, and I just end up going like, I just don't get it. But each to their own.
Yeah, once again, it's all subjective.
Like, for example, there's people out there going like, why would you watch Thundar the Barbarian? And I'm like, because to me it's awesome. It's so ridiculous. It's kind of amazing. But yeah, the one thing I can say, though, it is awfully therapeutic just sitting down and going like, you know what, I'm going to do whatever the heck I want. And it doesn't matter if it turns out or not. Actually, I think this one in a weird way turned out.
Yeah, it did.
Because it's just a funky... There we go. Funky little piece. Feel as if there needs to be a little bit more strain around the eyes. There we go. Okay. Yeah, he just said something. Could you read it out loud there?
Let's see. I'm honestly pretty much not at all into any cartoons, like being a fan, I really enjoy just how you say the way cartoons are drawn. Not anime so much, exceptions though. I enjoy cartoon art style.
No, I do. I get you.
That's cool.
And it's totally fine, because the fact is again, no one's ever going to completely agree. And there's just some stuff out there where you end up watching it and you go like, man, that's cool looking. I like the craftsmanship, blah, blah, blah. Couldn't care less about the story, or... Believe me, I've been there. Yeah. That's not too bad.
Craftsmanship. Thanks. That's what it is.
Yeah. All right.
He says, "It looks awesome, dude."
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's funny that you kind of hit a point where, like, I'm not sure when to exactly stop, but there's something about these eyes. They're just bugging me, and I think I finally figured out what it is. I think it needs to have that hasn't slept quality to it. There we go. That feels better.
He's about to cry.
All right. I think I did pretty good. You can see the desperation. There's some serious desperation. Wait till you check out the next moment. Traditionally, at the end of every episode, when I have two characters facing each other in the sketchbook, Desperate Pikachu and the Toilinator, because they spend the rest of eternity lip-locked together, I end it with, in this case, a very disturbing kiss. So, Toilinator, meet filthy, desperate Pikachu. Oh, that's good stuff. That's wrong. Makes me feel good. Oh, man. All right. Oh, wait. Let's see if I can operate a box. I'm almost there. Swear to God. No. It's going to be one of those weeks. It's going to be one of those weeks. Aha, not one of those weeks. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, and with some exceptions, we do Saturday at 4 o'clock every single week. Sometimes life happens, but we have a YouTube channel if you want to subscribe and join and check all that stuff out. I've got a lot of cartoons up. We'd love to have you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we don't ask for anything other than if you're having fun and enjoying yourself. It's kind of all we ask for. In the future, we're going to put some merch up, but buy, don't buy, it's up to you. I apparently just want to draw rodents in dirty underwear. Oh, man. But thank you, and everyone, have yourself a good week out there in TV land. We will catch